Next level down is the subconscious mind. This is a place where we store every thought, every opinion, every experience, every engagement we have had. All manifestations, good, bad, and ugly, they are stored in this vault of the subconscious mind. Notice that so far we're going deeper in this journey and we're traveling in, we're not traveling out. We travel out, we get and we make experiences. These experiences ultimately determine who we become based on what it is we choose to focus on, the meaning we give to that focus, and whether we make out of that stumbling blocks or stepping stones. So we either see problems, challenges, or opportunities. They're usually typically the same thing. We just define them differently depending on our state and frame of mind at any given point in time. So the subconscious is this vault that holds every truth that we give it. Sometimes it carries contradictory truths, and it leaves a footprint in our bodies. The different emotions and the different sensations that sometimes will just overwhelm us from out of the blue, because the world and life as we know it is full of triggers. Obviously, we use the word triggers when they are negative. We also have positive triggers, things that would just excite us. You just wake up some sunny day and you feel good, and there's absolutely no reason for it. Just as occasionally you could wake up, as they say, on the wrong side of the bed, and you start the day on the wrong foot, and for no apparent reason, you just out of sorts. Something triggered something in your subconscious. So our ability to function a lot of the time and to function seamlessly depends on how well connected we are with our subconscious, because it holds all our truths, even the untruths that we tell ourselves. Now, beyond that layer, going deeper, is the unconscious. If you've ever had a relative, someone who was unwell, and they were lying there, connected to all these machines, but you couldn't talk to them. So it's almost like there's a disconnect between who they are and the tent in which they live, the bodysuit that we carry around. That's our means of transportation, which we always confuse with our identity. We forget that that's not who we are. That's the vehicle in which we travel as we move from point A to point B. So what is the unconscious? And this again is from my perspective. This is where we start trading truths and ultimately come to a place of perspective, which I refer to as the ultimate truth. Irrespective of your point of view and my point of view. Gravity, for instance, is the ultimate truth. Gravity doesn't care whether you believe in it or not. It doesn't care whether I believe in it or not. And if we are in doubt, all we have to do is jump off a cliff, and we will quickly find out, and soon enough we will understand that gravity acts on everyone, and it is as real as I am talking to you right now. So what is this unconscious layer? When you go out into the world and you take a look at a plant, a rose flower. Let's take a beautiful one. You notice that you sow a seed in the soil, and if it is fertile, this seed after a while will develop roots, it will grow a shoot, and it will bear fruit. In the case of a rose flower, it is the beautiful petals that we see in that rose flower itself, and the lovely scent and fragrance that it releases that beautifies our day as it does the environment. So there is a certain intelligence which I refer to as vitality, and this intelligence orchestrates itself orchestrates through the seed that becomes the plant which eventually bears the fruit. At no point do you see this seed going for any kind of tuition to figure out what it needs to do in order to come alive. It just happens. That intelligence is what I call vitality, and this intelligence is outside of us. It exists in spite of us, and it is that intelligence, unity consciousness, Mother or universal intelligence, Mother Nature, God is what we refer to, that almighty, that omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient entity. I was going to say presence, then it becomes a bit of tautology, doesn't it? So you notice we just talked about 4 levels of consciousness: awareness, consciousness, then we talked about the subconscious and the unconscious. When someone is unconscious, they're not dead, they're there. So in that unconscious state and frame of mind, the connection between awareness and consciousness is broken. That circuit is severed, which is why typically people will tell you that in that unconscious state of mind, they are aware. They could tell you they heard you, especially those who are passing on. They would always tell you, talk to them, they can hear you. And sometimes when we're under general anesthetics and we pass out completely, we connect with everything that's happening around us. We can hear people talk. We can hear the sounds of time. We can hear the rustle. We can hear the bustle. We can hear the tumble, but we just can't engage because that circuit is broken. And the connection between these different layers, which depends on the mind for its interconnectivity, is compromised. Because if the brain is the hardware, then the mind is the software. And the mind allows these different integrated layers, the different levels of consciousness, to communicate through that value system, which we will be talking about shortly. So in the state of the unconscious, the brain loses its ability to communicate with the body. And when we talk about the brain, we may want to see the brain as an operating system, a field of play, a transducer where thoughts find meaning, and those meanings through feelings become the actions that architect and build the tapestry of our lives. Now that's an interesting thought. So if the mind is just a transducer and an operating system, what happens in that state of unconsciousness? This brings us to yet another concept, the spirit.